who's a good candidate for a franchise? There's lots of kinds of people I talk to, and I feel like I have a decent idea of who's a good candidate, but maybe you could spell it out for me. Who's a good candidate for this franchise model?
I don't know. I think people in laundromats, they are like every reason you can imagine, but most of them want to have a better quality of life, because you don't have to live at your company 24/7 or 10 hours a day or whatever. I mean, it's literally a couple hours of work, if that's as little as you want to do, and you can have a very successful laundromat doing that. You got to keep an eye on everything. You have to make sure it's neat and clean. You got to make sure it's safe. You got to make sure your equipment doesn't have out of order signs on it, and things like that. But it's just kind of like common sense as to how to run it. And anybody that wants to have a better quality life, I think, is a good candidate for this. Sadly, you have to have some money to do it. But
you threw at that $200,000
pretty reasonable amount.
You threw at that $200,000 figure earlier. Was that a general number? Is that what you need?
Yeah, it's not hard. It's not hard and fast. It's based on one component is the franchise fee. So with WaveMAX, if you buy one store, it's $49.95, I think, for $9,995. If you buy two, the second one is half price, and if you buy three, the third one is $19,000, and that's the price for the fee from there out. A lot of that goes to the broker that introduced you to the system, and then the rest of it is actually used to help you get up and running. We use it for travel, we use it for setting up meetings, we use it for just helping you. So there isn't really anything left out of that when we're done.
Yeah, you're running the business. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets pretty well consumed. But then the rest of it, the second component is the 20% of what it costs to build out the design that you signed off on. So if you did a gigantic store, it might be $1 million loan. You may need $250,000. If it's like a 30-30, it's probably your build out and operating capital is probably going to come in around 700, 800. So you need to have that other 20% there. And then you have to have some to run your advertising and some to pay your employees for the first 3 months while you're becoming self-sufficient. And that number of the 3 months has really been shrinking. We're really closer to a month now if people follow the rules. So
nice.
We do the right amount of advertising to get the volume up to be able to hit black faster than not.
That's the goal. What about somebody who's working a full-time job? I mean, I talk to a lot of, doctors, dentists, engineers, software engineers, who don't necessarily want to quit their jobs, but they also want to have something going on the side, especially now as, things are just uncertain. It's nice to have, your own thing going because nobody knows what's happening with the world right now. Right. So, is that a good candidate if they have a full-time job?
No, we cater to that. If somebody wants to put no time in, there's a way to do it. If they just want to put money in, there's a way to do it. We do have one professional group out of the North Midwest, I guess is the best way to put it. It's basically a syndicated group that has a chunk of money, and they're a group of doctors, and they don't want to manage it or build it or anything else. So we put a manager in place for them, and that person is helping them get the first store up and the second store started already. So yeah, there are ways to do it without leaving your job at all. But most of our folks that are going to keep a job and which is most of the folks. They put in, 2 hours, 3 hours every other day. So, 8 hours a week, 10 hours a week can easily be done. And most of that time is spent, just reading your reports, making sure that the cash is flowing and folks are showing up on time, and you got your scheduling up, and moving your quarters around, pulling them out of the machine, put them back in the change maker. That's it. That's pretty much that easy. So any level of participation you want to have, we can make it for you. The more you participate, the more you make. The less you participate, the more you have to pay somebody else to help you out.
Right.
It's a give and take. But even if you only want to work 8 hours a week on it, you can still make a really nice return on your investment.
Awesome. Well, I know there's implications on financing, but does WaveMAX have any experience requirements, credit requirements, any other requirements of prospective owners?
Well, from a financial standpoint, you have to have the cash, and you have to be able to qualify for financing. If you're going to go the financing route,
right?
If you're going to do it all cash, you don't need to, qualify. From an experience standpoint, it's almost better you don't have experience running a laundromat, because if you had experience running a laundromat and you were great at it already and you knew all the ins and outs, unless you were just buying the franchise because of the deep discounts we get, which is a great reason to buy it. But if that's the only reason you're buying it, then you probably don't know how to run it. So yeah. So and if we have people that come in with no laundromat experience, myself included, I don't bring any bad habits with me. I don't want my store open 24 hours, because I've been in stores that are open 24 hours, and some of them work, but most of them, they don't seem to work to me. Mm-hmm. I go in hundreds of stores every month, checking out the competition and seeing if, honestly, I go into the competition to see if I can take their customers from them. Mm-hmm. Because if there's not an attendant there, and if it's dirty, or there's a bunch of out of order signs on machines, I know I get their customers. We just, people would rather go to where service is better than where it's not.
Totally. Absolutely.